Yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Mike. You already know what is up and what is good. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about where Jimmy Butler should go and how the Timberwolves are in big trouble. Now, as we all know and have seen the news, Jimmy Butler has requested a trade out of Minnesota. Now, the reasons as to why, he says it's not because of Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns, but we all know that's probably one of the big reasons why. But he did come out and say that it was mainly contractual. But nonetheless, there are too many internal problems with this team. Too much stuff going on in the locker room. Calling out each other, calling out teammates. Like when Jimmy Butler called out Andrew Wiggins about not having a work ethic. I'm not sure if he called out Karl-Anthony Towns too, but even Steven Jackson, a former NBA player, alluded to this and says that Andrew Wiggins has no heart. And it does appear to be that way sometimes. You know, sometimes Andrew Wiggins just doesn't seem to play with heart or passion when he's on the floor on defense. So I can see where these guys are coming from, but then again, you have to know when to say that, speak to them privately and not out to the public. But then again, you do have to call out your teammates and letting them know what they need to do better and what they're doing wrong. And then you have Tibbs saying that he'd rather leave the Timberwolves rather than trade Butler at all and rebuild from there. So it's like if one thing happens, the dominoes will fall and they will fall hard. There's a lot of drama going on with this team, and it's crazy because the Wolves had their first playoff appearance in like what, 10 plus years I believe, and they had one of their best seasons in a while, and it only lasted for one season. So it's just crazy to see all this happen. You know, they were all hyped up to get in the playoffs, contend for a championship maybe, and then little do you know, the next year they won't even be the same team that they were going in. So now Jimmy Butler did come out and give his list of 3 teams that he preferred to go to and be traded to, and that he'd be willing to sign an extension with, just so that the Timberwolves can have active trade partners, so they won't be getting nothing for when he leaves, and make it easier for them to get something in return. So he gave his 3 teams, and they were the Knicks, the Nets, and the Clippers, and I'm pretty sure the Clippers being the most preferred destination that he'd like to go to. Now this all relates to Kyrie Irving, because we all know they share a common interest in playing with each other, so you know, whether they team up on the Knicks or the Nets, maybe even the Celtics, we all know that they share a common interest in playing together. So we're definitely going to have to factor in Kyrie Irving's decision as well, because we know that they are trying to play together at some point, and as of late it is looking like the pieces are falling right into place for them to have that opportunity. So don't forget about Kyrie Irving in this too. So if he comes out with some news about this situation or something about wanting to play for another team, or you know, just where he stands on the situation with the Celtics, factor that into where Jimmy Butler might go as well. I'd personally want this. I'd want them to go to a bad team and make them good. I think that Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving should go to the Nets. I'd give them way more credit if they went to the Nets rather than any other team. I'm not sure what the Nets cap situation is like. I think it's good, but I'm not sure, so I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure what it is, but I'd love to see Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler go to a bad team and make them relevant. Plus, it would add another team to the Eastern Conference contenders and contending to go to the finals, so it would make the Eastern Conference stronger and adding another team in that pool of viable teams in the Eastern Conference, because we all know the Celtics will still be a viable team if Kyrie Irving decides to leave. They have a nice future ahead of them. So if Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler can, you know, team up on the Knicks or the Nets, and I prefer the Nets, it would just make the Eastern Conference stronger and a lot more interesting. And the Clippers, you get to play in LA, of course. I can understand why he wants to go to the Clippers instead of LeBron and the Lakers, because he wants to compete against LeBron, not compete with him. That's the competitive nature in Jimmy Butler. You know, and what better place to do so than right next door? Those Clippers and Lakers games will be pretty interesting to see and fun to watch for sure. And I think this Clippers team would make the most sense. The Timberwolves would probably get the most out of a trade package from this team. The Clippers have the most to offer from the 3 teams that Jimmy Butler listed. Plus, the Clippers could utilize Butler as a bargaining tool or bragging rights to entice Kawhi Leonard to go there even more, to have that second star behind him if Kawhi decides to part ways with Toronto. So don't be surprised if you hear the Clippers starting to be the front runner for Jimmy Butler being traded to. Now the Knicks would probably be the most fun for sure. You get the Knicks back in the playoffs indefinitely. Again, would add another team in the Eastern Conference to make the Eastern Conference stronger, and it's MSG, Madison Square Garden. And not to mention another team that Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler could potentially team up on. Then you got Porzingis still lingering in the background, coming off his injury, so when he comes back to a Jimmy Butler or a potential Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving team, that would be vicious and crazy to see if you're a Knicks fan. And of course, those three options aren't the only places that Jimmy Butler would go. Just because he said those three teams doesn't mean he'll go to one of them, so he could end up anywhere. And we saw that with Paul George, Kyrie Irving, and even Kawhi Leonard. But yeah, the T-Wolves are in big trouble and they are about to implode. And when the first domino falls, it will come crashing down hard. They have too much drama going on right now. The main stars on the team don't really like each other and they kind of bash heads all the time. They don't really play well together on the floor. Two of the main stars don't really seem to have much passion and drive on the floor when they play. And that just leaves Jimmy Butler angry with both of them, saying they don't have a work ethic and they don't play with heart. So yeah, once that first domino falls, it will all come crashing down, and it will come crashing down pretty hard. And as fun as it is, it's bound to end sooner or later. So guys, where do you think Jimmy Butler will land? Where do you want him to go? And how do you see all this drama with the Timberwolves ending? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. It's been your boy Mike, and you can let that beat drop.